Good evening, everyone. It is March 26th, 2025. We're moving right along through March. It's almost over. And it is Aries season. We have the Aries eclipse this week. So I hope you guys are doing well. You're probably feeling the energies are changing. Things are shifting. It does feel like a new timeline, definitely. We have entered and shifted into, and what I mean by that is more of a different perspective on where you're going, where you're headed, but also the inner shadow work. So you may have different perspectives, possibly with things that happened in your life, traumas or just memories, things that took a while to heal. There are new perspectives that are kind of setting the tone, especially this week. As Aries ingresses and gets near us. So we have a strong eclipse, okay, that energy as well as a lot of the things going on in the world. And one thing I want to highlight, because last week we went over the weather manipulation and all that stuff. So I do want to share something that I found. So let me share this. So RFK posted this, I believe it was today. Actually, a couple of days ago. So 24 states moved to ban geoengineering our climate by dousing our citizens, our waterways, and landscapes with toxins. This is a movement every Maha needs to support. HHS will do its part. So this is ending the weather modification biowarfare tech once and for all. So this is the end of all of that. So this is looking really good. I know we went over a little bit of this last week on last week's show, but it's so nice to see this posted by RFK for sure. Things are happening. Things are definitely in the works to get better, to get healthier for all of us. So this is good stuff. We are going to do a rundown on each day. So in case you didn't see last week's show, this newer format, I'm kind of testing it out to test the algorithm on YouTube. So what we're doing is every day you will be able to come and click back on here with a timestamp, and you'll get a reading for each day. So I'm going to be going through from today to next Wednesday. So every reading, you'll be able to click back and take a look and see what the message is every single day. We will also include an angel number for each day. And then we have some financial questions that a lot of you were inquiring about. So we will go over those as well. Before I get started, though, I do want to let you know, since there's an eclipse this week, I want to do a special for you guys. So on my website, I know a lot of you loved your palmistry readings. So I am now offering that at 50% off just for this week. So just for the until the 1st, April 1st. So there will be a 50% off for palmistry readings, and that is on my website, and you can go check that out. So yeah, cutting it right down in half for you. But not only are you getting your palm read, you're also getting basically a lesson. So you would be able to read someone else's palm. So it's more so you're learning how to read palms, the general basics of it, and getting your own personalized reading at the same time. And it does include, you can include one question, one very specific question of something that you would like to discover. And I will teach that to you in a pre-recorded video that I will send your way. So check it out. That's at Starcana Shores. Oh, that's my email. That you send that into the email. You send your pictures of your hands. But to order this reading, you go to arcanashores.net. But yeah, make sure you send in your pictures to starcanashores@gmail.com, that email you see on the screen, with your question. So very cool. And you just need to send a picture of your right and your left, this side, the palms only. I know a lot of you were sending me pictures of your hands, both sides, but I only need your palms. That's it. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that. And everything else is still available on my website too. So take a look. There's some openings next week that I opened in the schedule. So take advantage of that and schedule your appointment for sure. But hey, let's move forward. I do want to remind you guys that Mercury retrograde, I don't normally give it attention, but it has messed with me, as you all know. So Mercury retrograde does officially end April 7th. So we're approaching that. It's getting down to the end of things. But I'm sure a lot of you have noticed in your life that there have been delays appointment delays, possibly. Maybe you had something that you were supposed to have a meeting and it kept getting moved. Even medical things. I heard a lot of you through my interaction with you on one-on-one readings that there have been some test result mishaps, people having to redo medical exams, blood tests, things of that nature. Just a lot of stuff. So yeah, Mercury retrograde does messes with more than just technology. So computer stuff, all kinds of plans, delays, all of it. So is it the best time to travel during Mercury retrograde? A lot of people are asking me on the daily, almost every reading, every day. Travel questions. Yes, I know we've seen a lot of things going on with the plane crashes, and use your discernment, use your inner knowing. And what do you sense? Is it safe for you? You have to go within and really feel it out. But for the general collective, what I have found through my channeling, that yes, it is still very safe to travel, but more so during Mercury retrograde, you're going to find more delays and it's not going to go as planned. Okay. It could even, the whole flight could change, the whole gate could change, things of that nature. Cars as well. There could be a lot of car trouble, car mishaps. So that's Mercury retrograde. So is it the best season right now to travel? I would say probably not, because of mishaps. So I would just wait if you're planning to travel somewhere, or even contracts. If you're thinking of signing a contract or starting something new, brand new, you don't want to do that in Mercury retrograde. It's not advised, because usually things will have to be redone and recalculated, and you'll find yourself going back to it and having to do it again. So that's just generally known in astrology. But that'll be ending very soon, April 7th, for this one, for sure. But hey, let's get into some of the questions that you guys have sent in. This was requested yesterday about the real estate market recovery. So let's take a look into that. So what we're going to be looking for is the zodiac time frame for the real estate market recovery. So when will we see the real estate market in a healthy state, stabilized? Here we go. So I'm going to pull some cards. We're just going to pull a few of them and get the general message here. Zodiac time frame for the real estate market recovery. Here we go. We have the Justice card and the Six of Cups. All right, I'm going to pull a little bit more. This is Libra energy. All right, with the Six of Cups is a very nice balanced energy. So I think we can see more balance happening from now until Libra season. But let me get a clarifying spread and see, when is the zodiac time frame when we can officially say that the real estate market has been recovered. Here we go. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Swords. So it is showing us an air sign. I'm looking for a zodiac time frame. So swords are usually air related. And the first answer that I received was Libra. That is the Justice card of Libra. More swords would indicate that that's actually Libra too. So absolutely. I would say by Libra season, we could safely say that the real estate market is recovered. So that is in the fall. So we could look to the fall. But building up to the fall, building up to Libra season, October and November, December. So all that, those beautiful months and signs over there. So by the time we get there, we're going to see it getting better and better as the months go on. Now, for those of you that always will ask me, when should I sell my house and all of that nature, I feel like it's still going to be good up until the fall. So even if you put your house on sale, in June or July, I think it would do really well. I think that things are just going to continuously improve. It's going to be a lot better than it has been. But I think when we can finally say that the real estate market is recovered, in a great recovery, it's going to be in the fall more so. But that was for those of you that are looking to see, well, when is it going to get better? I keep getting questions about the real estate market. So there you go. Now, another popular question that keeps coming through. And just so you guys know, if you want to send in your questions, feel free. feel free to send it in. I'm going to look and see if I have the email here. So it's starcanashores@gmail.com. So send in your questions, but also if you buy anything from Ascent Nutrition through my website, you can win a express reading. So our winner for today is Paul Marin. So Paul Marin, go ahead and send me your questions for your free express reading, starcanashores@gmail.com. And that is the same email that you will use if you want to send in a question for the weekly shows. Very cool. Congratulations to Paul out there. Very nice. Thought I'd throw that in there. All right. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Ascent Nutrition is on my website, and you'll hit Shop Nutritions. And if you use my link, then you're automatically entered to win an express reading. So it's pretty cool. But hey, let's get back to our questions here. The next requested question that was coming in was about our DOGE checks. Okay, we all have heard that we're to receive DOGE money, right? So I know that they're still dealing with all the fraudulent claims that they have been finding, Elon, Trump, and the whole team. So let's take a look. Are we going to receive, are the American people, everyone who has a social security number is supposed to get DOGE checks? So will we see that happening in April? Will we see DOGE checks happening in April? Here we go. Let's take a look. We've got the Sun card, we've got the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. So a lot of fire energy. April still, Aries is the first half of April, so absolutely, and right now. So with that fire energy and then success and victory there in the middle, I would definitely say, yes, it's still on point. I know we checked last week and it was Aries season, so it makes sense. We're still getting the same answer for sure. So, yep, we can hope to see that in April. Very cool. April is Tuesday, April 1st. So I'm looking forward to that. A new month, new energy, move us out of here, out of this retrograde season for sure. Let me see. I'm going to just get my cards together and shuffle them up. I messed them up a little bit. There we go. Our next question that we're going to move on to, very popular question. So about the financial market. All right. So we're going to look into, will the market take off during this eclipse week? All right. And then we're also going to look at gold, silver, and XRP, since that is the most popular. The cryptocurrency market in general. We'll look at all of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the camera so that you guys can see the cards. And I'm going to do a full spread. This will take a few minutes here, but it's something that you all request all the time. So we're going to do it, and we're going to do a full spread on this. So let me turn this down so you guys could see the camera. All right, so here we go. You can see the cards. So we're going to start with the question, will the market take off during this eclipse week? All right, now I already know the astrology, and as we move into next week, it's actually looking stronger from a financial standpoint. Just the aspects and the planetary placements, it looks actually better through astrology for next week. But let's just take a look into this week right now. Will it set the tone for the market to take off? And when I say market, I'm talking the stock market, cryptocurrency, all of it, everything. Gold and silver, just everything in general. Financial market. Here we go. All right, so this is a great card because this is kind of like beating the odds. A lot of people probably speculating. There's a lot of theories out there that there's going to be a pump and dump in the fall and nothing's going to happen now. But I don't believe that to be true through my channelings either. But this would be very good for a financial outlook, that there's something that's going to blast off. We're going to see a turning point happen. We also have the Knight of Wands. That's Aries energy. We've got the Two of Wands going in a new direction. All right, so it's like a clean slate, a whole new opportunity. Fives are changes. That's a Five of Cups. Three of Wands. Chariot. Yep. I think, okay, because the Chariot could mean like it's coming very soon. It's coming at us. So absolutely, I honestly feel that this week, because this is the near future, meaning next week, this week is setting the tone. It's kind of putting everything in place, lining things up for the whole entire market to do very well next week. And I'm feeling Monday, possibly Tuesday, somewhere around that area. All right, so the very end of the month and then riding into the first on Tuesday. Yeah, balance. That's a lot of balance. So we have just the Justice card and the Four of Cups. So what it's going to do is it's going to, I feel like there's going to be a good pump there, a rise for the market, and then it's going to stabilize. It's going to, just balance out. So that looks really good, actually. So for this week, you'll continue to see it kind of, it's going to be teasing a little, I feel, and then kind of setting the tone and building up for next week. So it's more of a build up is what I feel. Now let's ask the question. I didn't type it out, but let's ask the question because everyone will ask all the time about XRP. When will we see XRP blast off? All right. We saw in last week's report on my other show last Wednesday. It was for Aries. It was for April. But let's take a look right now. Where does XRP stand? Are we going to see the major explosion with XRP this April 2025? Here we go. All right, King of Swords, and that is a yes. It's also Gemini energy. And then we have the Eight of Wands, Gemini, Capricorn, structures changing, financial structures, financial institutions. So April is looking like a yes still. King of Cups. I'm sensing some Cancer energy too, and that's July. Then we have the Six of Swords, and then we have the Sun card. So summertime is going to be really good for XRP as well. But yes, with April, we're going to see some good action in April. And then it looks like summertime because Cancer and Leo is here. And I'm moving out of the dark and into the light. So I would say that's summertime too. So yes, for spring and yes, for summer, we're going to see some good action with XRP. All right, this is good. This is what's going to help recover the financial, hardship for a lot of people. So if you don't have XRP, I really advise you to get some, even if it's just a little. At least you'll have some. But it's going to help a lot of people. Now let's look into gold and silver. All right, here we go for gold and silver. And I'm going to do them together because they always come out together anyway, gold and silver. What can we see for April? Two of Wands, all right. It's already demonstrating both of them moving along quickly. So there's going to be a quick uprise. Okay, so it's going to go up. The Hierophant, Page of Cups, King of Wands. A lot of fire energy. So we have fire, a little bit of earth. So it's going to climb. It's going to do very well. And then it's going to stabilize. So very similar to what we just saw with cryptocurrency and XRP. The whole market. So it's all kind of riding along together. And then there's another question a lot of you were asking. Foreign currency. Let's check on foreign currency. Foreign currency for April. Let's see if there's action with that. Since everything else is going to do well. Let's take a look for foreign currencies. So the Iraqi dinar, the dong, all of them, all of the foreign currencies. Here we go. Page of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. So for those of you that have been holding for so long, this is generosity. This is being, given. So this is receiving, to give and to receive. So absolutely. 10 of Wands, success here. The Strength card. There is a heavy Leo energy. So that's later in the summer too. July, August. There's something going on July and August. And I just saw that with XRP. So foreign currency right here is looking good. Yes, for April. Looks like, if it's going to go up in value, it's going to do very well. And then over here, showing us summer success as well. But it's funny, we had Leo for XRP too. All right. And then also the Strawman accounts, for those of you that don't know, that is how the birth certificates have been, fraudulent. We've all been ripped off. IRS, 3-letter agencies in general. But when will that come to fruition? When will the people, so I'm just talking about the whole collective, when will people receive money, for all of that nonsense, all the fraud? Or is that going to be just a part of DOGE? Is DOGE just going to cover all of that? Let's see what happens here. There's a lot of theories out there. So there's already action being taken towards this. So 5 of Pentacles, and then we have the Knight of Wands. It's in the near future, you guys. And then this is ending a new beginning, cycles, and we're entering the new era. Pisces, is finally dying out, and we're moving into the new era. So it is a new cycle. And also Capricorn is shifting too. So we have a lot of the structure, all the structure in astrology, and that's the financial structures. Also all the government controllers, 3-letter agencies, all the banks, all that stuff. They're going to not have that control over the people anymore. So the freedom and also the recovery financially, that is coming in. That is shifting right here. This is a new cycle. So let me see a zodiac time frame, because what I'm getting is it's already in action. They're already fighting for the people so that they can have financial security and actually get a payback and receive money back for all the fraud. But let's take a look. What is a zodiac time frame when all of the American people, because I feel that this is DOGE, I really do. When will we see this? What is the zodiac time frame? Wow, we have Gemini and we have Cancer. Gemini and Cancer, and then 8 of Wands coming in fast. So let's hold on till, we're going to keep up with this and keep checking. But Gemini and Cancer, so that's June and July. Gemini technically starts the end of May. So May, June, July right here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But we're going to continue to do checkups, energy checks on that, because that's really exciting. And then let's move forward here. I'm going to take that down. And we're going to move forward a little bit. I'm going to put the camera back up and just pull past, present, and future on each day. So it's going to be a daily message for the dates ahead of us for the week. So tomorrow, moving on. So Thursday, March 27th. You guys can come back here every day and click on the date. I will have the timestamps after the show. So March 27th, tomorrow, Thursday. Venus is ingressing Pisces, Venus conjunct Neptune, for those of you that follow astrology. And then the moon is squaring Jupiter. So it's going to be a pretty good day. There might be a lot of, in astrology, there could be a lot of perspective changing. Okay, so there could be a realization about something. It's basically your mind, spirit, soul. It's getting in alignment for this solar eclipse. This eclipse will be very powerful. with something that you're healing internally, but also relationships around you changing, things in the home changing. Look and see where you have 9 degrees of Aries in your chart. That's where it's going to affect you the most. But anyways, let's get back to March 27th for tomorrow, Thursday, March 27th. What is the message for Thursday? March 27th. Here we go. We have the Gemini Queen of Swords. We have the Chariot and the 9 of Cups. So tomorrow is very fast moving. So Thursday, very quick wit. All right. So you're going to be moving quickly with plans. You're going to have more energy, I feel. I feel like maybe at the beginning of the day, not so much, but as the day progresses, there's going to be this high energy, maybe even this high want or desire to be around loved ones. Okay. And then the 9 of Cups is a very content energy too. So that would show us that deeply within, you're content and you're grateful for what you have. So tomorrow won't really be a day of depression or anxiety or feeling like you need something, to make me feel better. It's not really one of those days, or escapism. The only escapism I feel is that you will be drawn to want to be around those that you love and do the things that bring happiness to your heart. The Queen of Swords being in the mix. So this could be boundaries with yourself. I feel like it's more so you'll know your boundaries. You'll think back to the past and you'll be like, well, I've done that before and I'm not doing that again. So I'm going to have this fresh start. I'm going in this direction, going in a new direction, because you know your limits. You've taught yourself your own limits and boundaries. So, and it could be boundaries on other people around you too. But for the most part, I think Thursday is more so about reflection within, knowing where you are, knowing what you're grateful for, and it's going to push you along throughout the day. And it's going to be a high energy day. If you don't feel it physically, high energy, it's going to be more mental than for you, more intellectual, more creative. So your creativeness is kind of spiking, I would say, more towards the end of the day, because I did look at the astrology. But to get the Chariot, this is like pushing forward, pushing through. Let's say something stressful does happen tomorrow on Thursday, but you're going to be able to push through it because you have the energy of the intellect. You've got the problem solving down. You've got it in your mind. And again, you know your boundaries, you know your limits. And that's a lot of discipline. So it's self-discipline, pushing forward, high energy, very intellectual tomorrow. And also there's a sense of reflection on what you're grateful for. So that's a beautiful reading for sure. But yeah, that's for Thursday. And let's pull an angel card for Thursday as well for March 27th. What is the angel number for March 27th? Here we go. 614. Okay. Positive change and divine guidance. Your guardian angels are encouraging you to trust the changes that are happening in your life. You are on the path to attain spiritual and emotional balance. So just trust. And that brings to my attention something too. When we worry and we're really upset about something, or we just keep going over things in our head and we're constantly worrying, that just means that you don't trust. That means that you're not trusting your angels, your guides. You're not trusting God's plan, the way that things are they're going to play out the way they're going to play out. So it's easier if we just trust and stop the worry, so much easier. And that's letting go of the outcome and letting go of that heaviness that you may feel about what if this happens, what if that happens. Just eliminate that as much as you can. And it takes practice. It does. It's a daily practice, but we can do it. We can definitely do that. So that was for Thursday. I hope that resonates for you guys on Thursday. Now we're going to move on to Friday, March 28th. So let's see, what is the message for Friday, March 28th? Here we go. And the astrology there is that there's a lot of innovative changes. Saturn sextile Uranus, Uranus, whatever you want to call it. Process of ending Pisces, destiny, fateful day in astrology. Wow. But yeah, whatever you guys want to say. I don't even know. I've heard people say, real astrologers say it both ways. So I don't know. But here we go. Friday, March 28th. What is the spiritual message for March 28th? Here we go. Page of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Magician came out at the same time. So our Page of Wands guy, that's about you setting your intentions, following your passions. Don't let that fire burn out. Okay, so we talk about this a lot, but this is about, so when people are putting you down or saying, oh, that's not that great of an idea, I wouldn't do that. You know, anyone who's shooting you down, you have to disregard that. You have to follow what's within your soul. If you truly want to do something, maybe it's something creative, maybe you want to build a new business or whatever it may be. Yeah, I feel like this is big for a lot of you because it affects your future for sure. And that goes with the astrology, actually. The Magician and the Ace of Cups is your grand fulfillment having to do with your manifestations. So you've already planted the seed, but you have to carry it out. We can sit all day and write in our journals and manifest and visualize, all of that nature, right? We can do all that, but it's nothing if you don't take action. You have to use that fire within you, that passion, that drive, and really push forward. Take some sort of action to make things start rolling. And that's it, the Ace of Cups with the Magician. So yeah, visualizing it, putting it into words, speaking it, but feeling it as if it's already here. That is the true essence of manifesting. That is how you attract it into your life, whatever it may be. But if we do not take that action of believing and, you know, pretty much you're in the frequency, so you're pretty much living and acting out as if it's already here. That is an action. To act as the frequency of what you are trying to bring and attract into your life, you have to take action. It's not something, you know, I get asked a lot all the time about when is my life partner coming in? When is my soulmate coming in? You know, and they're just living their daily life. They are manifesting. They're going to work. They're going to bed. They're going to work. They're going to bed. But again, yes, you can continue to manifest, visualize, but you have to take the action to get into that frequency and act as if that person's already in your life. Giving yourself that love, giving yourself the kind of love and treatment that you want to feel. So you have to basically live in the feeling of it already existing, and that takes action on your part. So that's something that comes through hugely for Friday, March 28th, and that's what these cards were. The Ace of Cups, so you're filling your own cup. And when you do that, that's when you're attracting what it is you're trying to manifest. And it just so happens in astrology, it is very fateful on Friday. And it is very creative because remember, the magician, the manifester that we all are, that's a creative mind. That's a creative soul. So we're creating our future. So you may feel more creative even doing crafts or painting or writing, whatever it may be that you love to do. That might even hit you harder on Friday because Spirit tries to guide you to continue to manifest and continue to get into that frequency. When you're in the frequency of things that you love to do, it just flows. It's just effortless. It's love, it's passion, it's happiness, it's excitement. All of those things are the frequency of what you're trying to attract. And whatever it may be, a job, a person, love, whatever it is, it's that that same feeling, that same vibe of excitement, love, joy. And then it's just effortless and it comes to you and it comes right through. You attract it. That is the law of attraction. Become the frequency of what you are trying to attract. So here we go. What is the angel number for Friday, March 28th? Here we go. 369, Tesla. Okay. 369, connection to the universe and creative expression. Inner strength and harmony, letting go of what no longer serves you. There you go. So there you go. That's perfect. That's exactly what that reading basically was. Creative expression. Exactly. Take it as that for Friday. Now let's move on. We're going to move into, I didn't date it. Well, we're going to go to March 29th. Here it is. Okay. Aries solar eclipse, Saturday. Saturday is the eclipse, okay? March 29th. So new cycles, long-term changes. Now, do all these, because people ask me all the time, do these changes happen on the day of the eclipse? It doesn't happen on the day, but things start getting into motion. So your new path, your new destiny, where you're headed, the ball is rolling. So it's starting, but no, the whole entire lifelong change doesn't happen in one day, one event. Unless you're lucky and something drastically happens and it changes the whole set of your plans. That's just possible, but not generally. No, it's something that's set into motion. But here we go. March 29th. What is the spiritual message for March 29th? Two of Swords, Six of Cups. All right, so there's a little bit of, so Saturday might be a little bit of, I'm hearing touch and go. So there's a touch and go energy on Saturday. There's also, I'm hearing the word caution. So maybe be a little cautious of what activities you're doing or interactions that you might be having on Saturday. Because not everyone is going to be balanced. No, I mean, every day there's some individuals you'll work with or talk to and they're not balanced. So there's there can be some friction. Okay. So caution with your words, caution with what you're trying to produce. If you are trying to produce something, make something, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. All right. Finish something on Saturday. Use caution and just be careful. I mean, injuries can happen. I'm hearing that too. So this solar eclipse is very powerful intellectually and for our inner wisdom and our working on doing our shadow work, all of that stuff. It's great. But when it comes to physical things, just have more caution and being around other people, maybe people that you don't really know. Just be cautious. Six of Cups, and then we have the Gemini card. For romance, it could actually be a good thing. So relationships might go in a new direction that are very positive, very loving. If you are in a connection already, and if you're not in a connection, it's very possible that, something starts rolling in that direction that you will soon meet your person. So for relationships, it looks pretty good with this eclipse, this Aries eclipse. But it's also, because it's Aries, Aries is about the self. So your self-identity, possibly your career, the perception of who you are, how far you've come, and where do I want to go? Where do I want to be a year from now, 2 years from now? So there's a lot of, thinking about your perspective on yourself. How do you feel about yourself? So it's the relationship with you. That is the Aries energy for sure. But then again, we have all this love here and could be romantic. So a focus on relationships, partnerships, romantic or not. There is something very positive, I think, that's going to make a major change and shift you in the right direction. So that's looking very positive for this eclipse, actually. But be sure to look at your chart if you have your chart. And if you don't, there's so many things online that are free that you can go do your free birth chart. Just type it in and do it. But find out where 9 degrees of Aries sits in your chart. And that's where it's going to hit. That's where it's going to affect your life in the biggest way. But let's see. What is the angel message for March 29th? Here we go. 2211. That's a beautiful number. 2211 says balance, harmony, partnerships, and relationships, diplomacy, adaptability, and serving your divine life's purpose. There you go. Beautiful. And that speaks just like the cards did. So balance, harmony, partnerships, relationships, adaptability. So what a beautiful focus. I like that. And the harmony part, being in that frequency and just being more adaptable as well, flexible, is, like that's going to help you to stay in a positive frequency. And frequency is vibration, it's all energy, all those words, but it's going to help you tremendously. I love that. So that was 2211 for the eclipse. Awesome. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to Sunday, March 30th. So Sunday, March 30th, what is the spiritual message for Sunday, March 30th? Here we go. The moon is conjunct Chiron, which Chiron stands for the wounded warrior. So that's kind of a deep square there with Mars. There's some cautious there in astrology too. Moon ingresses Taurus. All right, let's see. Sunday, March 30th. So the Six of Swords, Page of Cups, and then the Knight of Pentacles. So things kind of slow down a little bit, I think, for Sunday. Now, the Six of Swords is a happy, victorious energy, feeling successful, feeling like you got this, you're going in the right direction. So it can be very motivating for whatever you're trying to do or accomplish. Page of Cups and then the Knight of Pentacles. There could be an opportunity that arises this weekend. So I know this reading's for Sunday, but something could happen Saturday that leads to an opportunity or something that something's presented to you, I feel, on Sunday. There's some type of opportunity, and if it's not something that someone comes towards you with an opportunity or an offering, then it could also be that there's an epiphany, there's a realization that I think I figured something out. I think I'm going to do this and that. Like there's a lot of introspection with this, I feel. And then I do want to backtrack a little bit because Sunday in astrology, it does have a caution there. It's because Mars and the Chiron thing and all that stuff. There could be possibility that people could get hurt. This could be something in the world that's happening, major disasters, things of that nature. I don't think that that's going to happen, but in astrology, it kind of points that in that direction. But it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But use caution if you're doing anything strenuous or, anything physical. Just be careful. But aside from that, I think it's very intellectual. And I think that you'll be probably in a spiritual sense really deeply feeling out where you're going next in your path. So a lot of you, I do advise, if it's hard for you to get everything jumbled in if you're like me and your head is just everywhere sometimes with so many ideas, then it is wise to journal and really get it down on paperwork. And once you do that, there's something that downloads. It's really cool. But anyways, it helps you sort things out. So you might be doing a lot of sorting in your mind, a lot of thinking, introspection, Sunday. So it's healing, though, to do that. So if you find yourself in your head a lot on Sunday, just know that it's fine. And there's a lot going on with the astrology that could be affecting you. But with our spiritual message today for Sunday, just try to take it easy, and just be aware that there could be an opportunity that comes towards you. Here we go. What is the angel number for Sunday, March 30th? Ooh, 144. That's a great number. You are on the right path to fulfilling your purpose. Search for more balance and harmony within your life. Choices have consequences, so choose wisely. So that could be like the caution thing too. Choose wisely at the choices that you're going to make, where you're headed and everything. So just choose wisely. Very good. So that's for Sunday. Now we're going to move on to Monday, March 31st. Now there's not much going on Monday except the moon is in Taurus. Taurus is a good energy. It's more grounded. Okay, so we have got that earth energy. So let's take a look. And Taurus can be financial. All right. And this is kind of the buildup we were seeing in the financial readings, that next week could hold a lot of financial transformation. So we'll take a look into this. Let's see for Monday, March 31st. What is the spiritual message for Monday? Here we go. That is cool. 10 of Pentacles. The Empress came out. This is a Taurus card. So it's a rebirth. Financial rebirth is what I'm hearing. And if this isn't for your personal lives, like maybe it's a career thing, that you're having a rebirth, like you're planning this, like you're going to have a whole new start, fresh start this April. But yeah, this is beautiful. So the 10 of Pentacles can be there. It's financial, but it can also mean family. Okay. So this, for some of you, this could mean that there's a fresh start in your family, in the home section of your life. But also the Four of Cups is bringing balance. So balance to the home and family, balance to financial security. This is probably my favorite reading of all these days here. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more to it than that, except, you know, that's a rebirth energy of being very grounded, balanced. It's a whole new fresh start, a whole new, it could be structures too, with when you're talking about the financial system. The 10 of Pentacles, 10 are completions, and then the Empress is like birthing. So yeah. So from a world perspective, Monday could be very powerful. Something could happen on Monday and Tuesday. I have to throw it in there because it's April on Tuesday. Something very powerful about financials. And let me ask the question, will we have great news being reported on Monday, possibly, about the financials? Ace of Wands. So it's very likely, this is a yes, very likely that on Monday or around Monday, okay, could even be Tuesday, could be Sunday, around Monday, we will get a confirmation, some sort of communication about the financials to help the people. This is good stuff. Justice for the people in regards to financial security and where we're headed as a country. This is good stuff. Now, let's take a look. What is the angel number for Monday, March 31st? Here we go. 111, one of my favorites. All right. Spiritual awakening, enlightenment, and manifestation signifies you are on the right path and the universe is supporting and guiding you. Stay steady and true. 111. That is so cool. All right, so that's a great one. I love, that was my favorite one of all these days. I think Monday looks awesome. Let's move to April 1st, Tuesday. And we're also going to kind of do April 2nd at the same time. I'm just going to do them both. So Tuesday and Wednesday, and I will return Wednesday evening of next week. We'll have another show. And thank you all for all the support and feedback that you guys like this format. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button. That like button is so important to keep this going. But I appreciate all the support. This channel is it's being tested right now. So I want to see how this format plays out. And it's doing pretty well with the last show. So we'll see how this one does. But expect to have brand new changes on my channel as well. There's a lot of new things that are underway that will be released in April. So I can't wait to show you guys. But anyways, here we go for Tuesday, April 1st and April 2nd. What is the spiritual message for Tuesday, April 1st to Wednesday, April 2nd? All right. King of Cups, Four Swords, Seven of Wands. So this is for Tuesday. We're starting with Tuesday. Tuesday has this healing energy, but also this very nurturing mental stability. Okay, and also Seven of Wands. In your personal lives, you might have to stand up for yourself about something. Four of Swords. There's like okay, so there could be something that goes on in a relationship, even something at work, like a coworker, but there's something going on with someone in your life. This is a personal reading for someone, but Tuesday might be a little touchy, so be careful with communication again. But you might have to stand up for yourself. Okay, that is a strong one right here. But it's going to bring you clarity, healing, and stability for whoever needs to hear that. Emotional fulfillment, stability. And that's for Tuesday. So Tuesday is more about standing up for yourself and healing something within your life at the moment. Okay, so maybe there's something with a relationship, family member. Okay, now let's look for Wednesday. King of Pentacles, the Tower. Okay, it could be about letting go, because Tuesday showed us that you might have to stick up for yourself and really, you might have to lay down the law on Tuesday about something. And then Wednesday, it looks like you're ready to let something go. You've got a whole new perspective. The Tower card is a change. It's not always a bad thing. It's not always negative, but it's a life change. So maybe you had to do something for the greater good for your life, So you had to let go of someone, or you had to let go of a career, a path that you were on. This could even be personal. This could be just about yourself, letting go of a habit that's just, interfering with your life way too much. So you have to let it go so you can have a healthier future. Anything toxic, anything that no longer serves you. Looks like Wednesday, it's like you're just letting it go. And you've got a healthy mindset, though, because King of Pentacles is very grounded. He's also very successful. So whatever you're doing that you have to let go of, it's going to put you on the right path to help you to become that version, the best version of yourself that you want to be. So don't be afraid to stick up for yourself, like Tuesday showed, and then Wednesday to let go of something that doesn't serve you anymore. So both readings kind of went together there. Probably because I had them together. Let's see the angel number for Tuesday, April 1st. What is the angel number for Tuesday, April 1st? 808. That's a good number. You are on the correct path and you're supported by your angels. You are in a spiritual awakening stage. Luck and abundance are coming. All right, so don't give up hope. Don't give up belief in yourself. Whoever needs to hear that for Tuesday. Now for Wednesday, what is the angel number for Wednesday? 666. Okay. Focus. Pay more attention to all around you. Evaluate all in your life and let go of what does not serve you. That's crazy. You guys just saw the cards for Wednesday, and it was that exact message. All right, letting go. So whoever needs to hear this, this was for you. The Tuesday, Wednesday reading, because they pretty much go together. Evaluate all in your life and let go of what doesn't serve you. That's so wild. It was just like those cards. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Well, we went through the week, and I will be back next Wednesday. And I just want to thank you all for watching and for supporting. Don't forget to hit that like button. And also on my website, don't forget that palmistry readings, I cut them in half. So they're 50% off right now until April 1st. And you can ask a specific question along with your palmistry reading. And remember that your palmistry reading is not only just about your hand, but it's an insight of teaching so that you can read for other people as well. And everything on my website is still there. Remember, for one-on-one personal readings and express readings, I have openings next week. So I opened up a lot of spots for you. But thank you all for being here, for supporting me. As we move in through April, like I said, there's a lot of changes that'll happen on the channel. Once we get out of Mercury retrograde, You'll be seeing me a lot more. But for now, I think this is great to test out the algorithm on YouTube. So thank you for liking and sharing and getting this video out to whoever you'd like to share it with. But thank you all so much, and I will see you all soon. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. You all take care. Bye.